Wow.
Thanks, babe.
Look at this.
And we have the podcast dog.
We do. He literally just jumped up here and sat up here.
Yeah, he owns the space, and now he owns you because he's just going to sit in your lap the whole time and nap.
I love it.
And he loves, I think it's like his favorite thing now is when I have people over to come do the podcast, he just snuggles with them and sleeps with them the whole time.
Huh.
But maybe it's because he doesn't get enough love because now there's a baby in the house.
Huh.
He used
You're
to be
not
the baby. He used to be the baby, and now he's not the baby.
That is true. I saw that little tiny doggy door, and I was like, that is so cute.
It's so tiny.
It's genius. Because who's going to come through it? Nobody.
No one is coming through that thing. And you know what's funny is everybody's like, is your baby going to escape? I'm like, have you seen how big my baby is? No. He's
triple the size of this little dog.
My baby's head can't even fit through that doggy door.
That's so true.
Not even if you tried.
That's so true.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I look at
Dude,
you.
I'm so excited to be here with you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
It's honestly, you're just a breath of fresh air because you're just one of my friends.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we have Madi Hurd here. For all the peeps.
All the peeps out there listening.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, this is the first time I've sat down today, so this feels good.
Girl, you are so busy.
I'm so busy.
I think I'm busy, and then I look at your schedule, and
oh no,
like, not that I have access to your schedule.
Just like the post, the video, you can assume
the social.
Yeah. No, but I'm not a mom, and you have that on me, so I don't know what that feels like. That's a lot.
It's been a really big adjustment, I will say.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody tells you or prepares you for the transition.
No.
And honestly, even if they did, I probably was way too stubborn to listen to them.
Right.
Anyway.
You're like, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I'm a super mom. And then I go through it. I'm like, I'm losing my hair. I'm having a Red Bull every day because I can't hang in. Just kidding. But I am doing a lot right now, which is a discussion for another time. Losing my mind.
Yeah.
But let's hop into you.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, Madi is the proud owner of Swim
Palekana.
Yes,
it means safe in Hawaiian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to pronounce, but I kind of wanted it to be different because all of the stores around town, like you live in Utah and it's just like the cutesy names and they are cute, but I just wanted mine to be so different. Not just like fish swim school or, like blue splash or, like it's cutesy and it's fun.
Yeah.
But I wanted mine to be different. So.
And meaningful.
Yeah, exactly.
So Swim Palekana, let's dive into it. So for those who wouldn't know, they'll probably catch on. Mm-hmm. It's a swim school and it teaches ages from like, what's the youngest and what's the oldest that you go?
So as little as 5 months old.
Okay.
And then I teach adults as well if they need to, but it's not very common. And my oldest kid that I have is roughly like 12 years old.
Okay.
Because after 12, I think they kind of, you're either transitioning into swim team or you're a little too embarrassed to be taking swimming lessons. And I never want them to feel embarrassed ever. So I welcome anybody and everybody, including adults, but roughly it goes to like 12 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a dive.
That is cute.
Let's take a dive way back.
Okay.
What is your journey to get into swim lessons? Like, how did you even start getting into it?
I love this question. I was a teenager and I was trying to find a job to pay for certain things in high school. Like my truck was gas guzzler, like had to pay for it. So I was like, what can I do that is amazing and easy? And I was like outside and being active. So I jumped into being a lifeguard and I was like, that is beautiful. That is glorious. I was like, I want to get paid to sit outside. I'm like, let's do
in
it.
The sun all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was 15 when I started lifeguarding, and I saved a 4-year-old boy who he didn't drown completely, but he he was under for quite some time. And I had to jump in and save him, not give him mouth to mouth or anything, but like it was so shocking. And I was like, wow, this is a real thing. And unfortunately, the dad was nowhere to be found. He was just chilling somewhere. And I feel like a lot of that happens a lot, unfortunately. Like parents get super distracted or whatever, like you just never know. And that was a circumstance where, the dad wasn't paying attention. And I was like, this is so sad. And kids, they're like, see ya, I'm going to go jump in,
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing, so that happened to me. And then my uncle, I never got to know him, but he was 8 years old and he died from drowning. And I so believe that, like, before I came to this earth, like, he was like, you need to save other children from this happening. And I, like, get emotional about it, but, like, I feel like it's my path. And so I just started teaching swimming lessons on the, as well as being a lifeguard at that location. And then just through my life, I kind of, would teach here and there. And I never thought it would be a career of mine. And it's not at all what I was going for. I went to college for exercise science and I thought I was going to be like a personal trainer. And I tried that for a couple years. But I feel like when you make your hobby your career, it's so hard to like have peace and have fun with it when you make it your job. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't like this. And so I went back into swimming and I was like, okay, let's do this. And then here I am. So yeah, it was really cool.
So where did, I know you worked at a couple other, would you say studios, facilities?
Like swim schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other locations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I worked at, like 3 different rec centers.
Okay.
And then one company I was with for quite some time. And I was actually going to be like a part owner there, but it just never worked out. So that was really, really sad. And I was like, what do I do? I put in all this time, all this effort. I worked my butt off, like 60, 70-hour work weeks. Like I did not stop. And when it didn't work out, I was like, I feel like there's more in swimming that I need to do. And I was so lost. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to take a step back and try to figure it out. And so I had a non-compete at the time, so I quit. And then I worked for my dad for a year. And then it hit me and I was like, no, I'm supposed to teach swimming. Like I'm supposed to save kids' lives. And that's what I'm in it for, is like for children. Like, yes, I love the parents and all that stuff, but like I'm literally saving kids' lives. As like crazy as that sounds, like there's a purpose to it. Mm-hmm. And so after that year, I started putting together my business and got a name and contacted the city and all that stuff. So
I want to dive into that a little bit, but I do want to brag on you a little.
Oh, okay.
Just because I think ever since, so we met through CrossFit. That's how we met. We did some comps together. Yeah. Honestly, maybe we should start doing it again.
I know we should.
It's been a while.
There's so much work.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's fine.
But I knew you just have like such a love for it, which I think is very rare because I think there's so many things that you can get your kids involved in. And now me speaking as being a mom, I'm understanding a lot more.
Yeah.
But you can get your kids involved in things, and obviously people are like, it's a job, they don't care. But like, even when I talked to you about it before I even had kids, like you had a spark in your eye, like you loved it. Spark in your eye. That's the right thing. Yes. Well, whatever it is, you had it, and you just loved it, and like I can tell that you care so much about it. Even when you like, I've brought my baby to you, and he's been doing it for what, like 3 months now or something.
Yeah.
I tried to get him in as soon as he came out, But you told me I had to wait until he was bigger. I was like, throw him in there.
Let's go.
Let's
do it.
Start training Olympics. Let's go.
That's what I love about you. You're just go
kidding.
for it.
I'm just kidding. I waited until he could at least crawl. So, but it is true. Like, you care so much about those kids, and like, you can tell you love it, which is such a huge difference when you decide to pick somebody to help teach your kid some safety or to save their own life. So
thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
And I love watching you do it, because it's fun watching you grow over the last couple of years.
Thank you.
Now I want to jump into, like, do you know, like, the exact moment that you decided that, oh yes, I can do this and I'm going to start my own company?
It was after I quit, and I was like, okay, I really don't want to go back into personal training and the gym life. I was like, I need to keep that separate from like my job. And I was just like, you know what? If I fail, I fail. Like, let's just do it. And so I was living in Draper, and I packed up all of my stuff and I moved back in with my parents, because when you take a chance on yourself, you're like, I could make $50 a day. I could make $100 a day. I was like, I can't take this risk and not pay my bills. So it was very like humbling to be like, okay, I'm moving back home with the parents, you know? But I was just like, I don't care. Like, I am in a spot in my life where nobody is relying on me. I don't have kids. I don't have a family of my own. And my parents are so nice, and I could talk about them forever, but I was like, you know what, if they're letting me do this and helping me along the way, I'm like, let's just do it. So, and I was like, even if you feel dumb, like, I don't know, and people would text me and they'd be like, can you please come teach my kid, like, please, please, please. And I was like, guys, I can't. I was like, I have a non-compete. I was like, I'm not a great rule follower. I've never been, like, my entire life in school, I always bend the rules, but I was like, I want to do this right, and I want to know that I'm in the right. And so I was like, guys, just wait. I was like, I'm trying to get things done, you know, but I couldn't say anything. And as soon as I posted my first post, because I didn't reach out to anybody, and I wasn't like, come to me, I'm awesome, I'm better than other people. You know, that is not my vibe. I just simply put a post out there, and I'm not even kidding you. I am so blessed, because all of the people I used to teach, as well as, you know, their friends, their family, their neighbors, that month that I opened, my first month, every single day was booked up in 5 minutes.
Holy cow.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Isn't that like so crazy when stuff happens like that, and you're like, okay, Lord, give me a sign. I'm going to try this if this is what you want. And then you do it, and then you're like, oh crap, I booked. Like, I have no time to eat my lunch.
I know, for real. I gave myself like a 20-minute lunch break, and I was like, that was so dumb. I was like, by the time you get out of the pool, you dry off, you go in, you make it. Like, I would have to eat it in 2 seconds and then jump back out. So, like, I've definitely, like, reorganized, have better boundaries since then. But I've only been open, this August will be 2 years. So, yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy how it's been, like, 2 years.
Yes. Yeah, that is true.
Did you ever find out you got nominated for Best in Utah? When do you find out?
So, I find out next Tuesday.
Ugh.
I know.
You have to wait.
You have to go to the event.
Oh.
And then, so the top 3 are only invited. So I got invited, and I did this last year.
Cool.
And I got top 3. So I'm hoping we bring home number 1, but you just never know.
Yeah.
And so,
well, because it's all based off of if your people go and vote.
Yes.
Which
if they vote. And
I did vote, and it's kind of long.
Yes.
I'm like, this actually is annoying. Can I just pick
Best
her the
of
winner?
Salt Lake, if you hear this.
Yeah, I'm like, I obviously pay her money to do it. I picked her business out of everybody else's, so let me just vote. Like, I don't want to answer
all these questions.
All of these questions. Yes. And I'm like, I get it, but as an experienced design marketing person, I'm like, cut this in half. Nobody has time for this.
Yes. Like, I get the code that they send you to make sure that you're like a real person. I was like, just send one.
Yeah.
And be done.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Which I also understand because.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. People will cheat the system because they do want the award.
Yes,
and
of course.
So I get it, but
I find out next Tuesday, so I'm so excited. It'll be good. Yeah.
I mean, and I hate when people say this because this is so like you're just like, okay, seriously, don't say this. But I do think it's a really big deal that you are nominated because I think being nominated shows the recognition and being like, she's working hard. And especially in the 2 years that you've been open, I feel like that's a cool thing to be like, okay, because even if you don't win next time, like you have like something to reach over the next couple years.
Oh, 100%.
But I'm so proud. That's so
Thank you. Thank you. It's so cool. And like we were talking about this before, like the other 2 swim schools, like they're all amazing. Like I have nothing bad to say ever, but they're franchises. And so they have 20 plus employees and then just little me, you know? So like, and it goes to show like I have such great people behind me who vote for me, who take the time and like all the Google reviews and stuff, because it's really, it's word of mouth. And other moms trust other moms, you know, because they're not going to trust just this random lady who teaches swim. They're like, okay, cool. You know, like they really want to hear like, no, I took my daughter and it was really, really hard, but we pushed through. And after 2 months, like she was so safe, you know? Yeah. So, and that's really moving.
So what is the biggest thing that you would tell parents when like, if they had to make a decision and to put them in or not? Like for me, it was the fact that we travel so much and we are around water so much that I would rather teach him when he's younger and understand how to float and save himself, at least to the point where I could like get to him. Yes. But if you were going to do like an elevator pitch to a parent, what would you tell them of like why they should put them in swimming at a younger age versus a different age?
Right. The first thing that comes to my mind is like, you can't put a price tag on safety. Like if you think about it with like other sports and stuff, and it's always good for kids to find their groove in something, whether it's soccer, softball, dance, whatever. But to put them in that young, it's easier on you as well. It's easier on me if I am fighting this toddler or even child that's 5+ years old, and I have to talk him through it and like calm him down and make him trust me. Like that process is so much longer than a baby. And a baby is, as weird as it is, like they're used to being in like liquid.
Yeah, they were in water for 9 months.
And so they just like, yes, it is scary because when if they ever had to hold their breath, like maybe when they're screaming and they're crying, but like for you to like put them underwater, they're like, what's happening? Like, what is this lady doing to me? But that process is 10 times easier than a child who has a fear of it, because babies don't naturally have a fear of water because they don't have an opinion about it. Like they know like, oh my gosh, I can't hold my breath. That feels scary, you know, but like, they're not like, oh my gosh, the water over my head, you know, and that's really, really hard. And so that's number one. Number two is to like, I'm mostly the first experience with a different person besides mom or dad that they have to listen to and trust. And so that is really hard for kids and babies because they've never been in that position before. But I've seen so much growth, not just from swimming safety or swimming safe, but like, I don't know, listening to somebody else. And then they'll do better in school because they'll listen to their teacher more. And you know, it just builds on everything, all their characteristics and personality. Yeah. So it's really cool.
Do you have a favorite age that you teach?
I love the babies, honestly. And I love when I get to grow with the babies. Like, there's only a certain point that a baby can get to, because I'm not going to teach a baby how to do freestyle, you know, but as they continue,
babies getting gold medal in the backstroke.
Honestly, there are some parents out there. They're like, my kid's gonna be the best, and I was like, okay, all right. Which I love it. I love, parents are gonna cheer on their kids more than anybody else. But I do love the babies, and then like when I get to see them grow, and like we have a relationship. And I'm just like, yeah, like I know the things that they love. Like they love this certain toy, or they love it when I give them a high five, or they love it when I do bones instead of a high five,
Yeah.
Like I get to grow with them. That's my favorite. It's so fun. Yeah.
So you teach inside and outside, right? I mean, obviously this whole winter, it's like winter, summer, every other day here. So I can't tell what season it is.
Yes.
But you'll do in and out. Do you have like a preference like for kid if you teach them in and out, or is it just like I just want to be outside today, or
so yeah, just like Utah weather, and so like as soon as we can be outside, like I love being outside, and I feel like every single kid loves to be outside because the sun is shining. They can like splash more because my pool is in the garage.
Yeah.
And so like even though kids splash, but like I still have to be cautious of like the walls and the ground, and so people don't slip and fall, So when they're outside, and like I always tell people, I'm like, or tell the children, I'm like, you can't splash mom unless she's in her swimsuit, because they just want to splash mom and dad.
Yeah.
And so sometimes like I'll have a mom one day, they'll go to the pool the afternoon and then come to their swim lesson, or vice versa. And like mom comes in her swimsuit top or whatever, and they get to splash her, and it's like so fun because they just get to be children,
Yeah.
So
do you have what's like one of the harder things to navigate when teaching kids?
I would say the parent teaching, or parent style of parenting versus teaching. Okay. So like I have to accommodate how mom and dad parent. So if they're very cautious, they take their time with their children and they explain A, B, C, because every child is different. And I have to like take that into account and change what I would normally do for that kid because he learns differently, I think that is the hardest part because I can sometimes see what the kid needs, and mom and dad, they've never taught him a swim lesson before. So I'm like, okay, I was like, mom and dad do this with him. So I need to implement that. But as well as I see that he is maybe pushing back a little bit. And so I have to push a little bit, but also give him what mom and dad give him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
I'm like, be hard.
Yeah. I'm like, this kid is so stubborn. I was like, we just need to do it. But when mom and dad don't push it 100% of the time, I can't push it 100% of the time.
Yeah, because they're not used to it. There's like a balance between like, okay, I'm not your parent, so I'm not going to treat you like your parent.
Right.
But I also have to teach you in a way that you would understand.
Yes.
And, I can only imagine.
Oh my gosh. Or even when the parents don't trust me and I have to, because the kids can feel that. They can feel the tension. They can feel the anxiety.
Yeah.
And so I have to calm myself. I have to calm mom down because when mom's nervous,
Because it is a high pressured situation.
It is.
Like,
it is.
Even though a lot of them have fun and they like sit there and float with their little turtle that moves his little wing, whatever turtles have, arms.
Yes. Arms. Yep.
I like literally couldn't.
It's been a long day.
Oh,
it's been a long day.
Yeah. What were we saying? Oh my heck.
You're good. High pressured situation.
Yeah. It is scary because I mean it is like they lose their senses, like breathing and seeing and things like that.
And your mom instinct is grab your kid, right?
Yeah.
So like parents are sitting on the side, they're like, I need to grab him, like he's been underwater too long, And so when the kid can feel that, I have to be the bad guy sometimes and be like, hey mom, like if he's reaching for you, and be like, mom, like I need you to trust me so he'll trust me.
Yeah.
So I just need you to sit down for like 10 minutes. Then you can come back, you can watch, And that's sometimes really hard for mom and dad because they're like, well, that's my kid.
Yeah.
And which 100%, like I would feel that way too. So we have to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
Yeah. I will say, I feel like I would freak out if it was somebody else.
Yeah.
Mainly because like I always was like that person, and I'll say it, I'll admit it.
It's fine.
I was that person to be like, oh, when I'm a parent, I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do this. But when you become a parent, there is a different like trigger system or
it's your instinct.
Oh, it is so different, and you react so different and when it's your baby. And like it is everything they do, I'm like, I have to stop myself. I'm like, don't be a helicopter mom. Don't be a helicopter mom. Because there's sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh. But he is a wild child. It's fine.
He is wild.
But I will say, I think that that's one thing that has helped me is that I know you so well. And I'm like, I have to trust her. Yeah. She's doing what she's doing. Like, she has this. She's got this in the bag. But also, like, back to what you were saying, like, they react so much to you. Yeah. Like, there's so many times when I have to, like, stop myself from being like, when he, like, even when he's not even in the water, when he's, like, walking around and standing and falling. Yeah. If he falls over, if I go, then he's going to start crying. Yes. And so there's so many times when I've had to, like hold my breath and then be like, it's okay. Yes. We stand up. We're good. And then he's, like, such a tough little kid now. Which is so dangerous. But I think the other thing is, like, I trust you. So it does allow me, like, the chance to step back and be like, okay, this is his time to be with somebody else and learn something new and do the thing. Like, I can't be helicopter mom. I have to step back. Yeah. So,
but it just goes to show, like, what a great mom you are and that you love your kid, like, so much. And when parents say, like, I'm a helicopter mom, you know, and I'm like, awesome. I was like, you know what? I think everybody is, you know, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I think, like, we all learn through what, like, your child needs. Like, oh my gosh, if I freak out after he falls, like, he's going to be like, Mom, help me, you know? Yeah. But he is tough, and it is so cool to see that. Like, he's a tough kid. He's so cute.
He's so cute. We are so biased, but
no, he's cute. He's cute.
He's fun. Yeah. Okay, so let's turn into the more business aspect. Kay. What would you say is one of the hardest things you've had to learn business-wise?
Oh, that's really hard because a lot of my clients become my friends, which I love, love, love. And then we have a good relationship. But when you take on friends and family first, not talking us, of course, at all.
It's okay. You can say
it. No. But
she was like, you're fired after this. I don't want you ever.
No. Sometimes when you teach friends and family, it's this weird, it's like, you know, you can't mix business with family. And that's super hard, as well as when my clients become these really good friends that I go out to dinner with and, like, I love them. And then I have to be like, hey, you didn't pay for some lessons, you know? Like, it just, that is so hard for me. Yeah. And I honestly can't wait for the day that I have, like, a full-time secretary and she can just send out the emails and I don't have to be the bad guy. But luckily, I've never had a bad problem. And if it is bad, I just politely, like, I'm good at confrontation in person because when it's over email or text, it always comes off the wrong way.
Always.
So I'm like, I'm just going to talk to this person. And every time I've had to do that, it goes over super well. And I'm just going to be like, hey, you're not welcome back anymore, you know? And that's really sad because I feel bad for the kid, you know, because sometimes there are just people out there who don't pay on time, come late, you know, don't follow the rules, don't respect the property, you know. So unfortunately, that is the hardest part, is being the bad guy.
That sucks, especially when you're the business owner. Yes. Because when, I get that. We've had a family business, so it's really hard to do it. And then also, I think it's hard, and I think I'm still trying to navigate my full idea or my full concept around this. but like family discounts or family and friend discounts,
Oh,
right?
that hurts.
So it really does hurt. And so like
Yes.
even sometimes like you sit there and you're like, okay, I obviously want to give my family and friends a discount because
you love them.
You love them and you want to, but you also have to sit there and you're like, okay, I got to make money. And if I discount it this much, then like it's really not worth my time.
Yeah.
And then it's taken away from other things that I could do or other clients that I could have that could pay me full price.
Yeah.
But I've also heard the other side of that where it's like you shouldn't offer family and friends discounts because they should respect you enough to pay that full price because they're supporting you.
Yes. I do love that.
And so I'm still like trying to navigate that. And obviously it's a very hard discussion and lines are not straight in those conversations. But it's hard to navigate and sit there and be like, oh, well, here's the family and friend discount.
Yeah.
But also it's costing me more to help you
than it is for this to happen.
Yeah.
And like I always say, like your prices are your prices for a reason. Like you don't see what's on the back end of like the gas, the electrical bill, all this other stuff that goes into what you're providing for them. And you're like, guys, I'm only making $10 off of you or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you discount it, you're like, I'm only making $5. And that's like, I don't know. And then you don't want to have any resentment. You don't want to be like, she's using me, you know, when in fact you offered this discount. So they're not using, you know.
Yeah.
It's such a hard line. I get you.
It's tough.
It's tough. It's so tough. Yeah.
So here, I have another question.
Yeah.
I have all the questions.
I love
I'm the
it.
biggest question asker.
I love it.
So you are obviously doing a lot and you are in the pool. How many hours would you say you're in the pool a day?
Oh, it depends on the day, but at least 7 to 8 hours.
7 to 8 hours. And you're typically in your pool for 5 days out of the week. Would you say that? Or would you say more?
Yeah. 5 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of days in the pool.
Oh my gosh.
So when do you decide as an owner that it is too much work, too many clients to take on, and then you need to either add staff or maybe sometimes take not a back seat, but a different seat so that you can then further drive the business?
Right. And I am fortunate enough to like see my family members own businesses and like past bosses and stuff and like learn from them. And I think handing a little bit of that, I don't know, those jobs to somebody else will really, really help you. It's like, you probably say this about your marriage, like you want to do it all. You want to take care of Legend. You want to do this and this and this and be the best person and so supportive. But like you have to give some of that responsibility away because you cannot do it all. And like back to your question, I do have 2 employees in the summer. Not in the winter because my pool is so small that we can't all teach in there. And so like that is very hard for me, even that, because some of these kids I've been teaching for 7 years and I'm like, oh, she doesn't like that. You know, like you're pulling her too hard. You're, you know, like all this other stuff. And you just have to be like, you know what? Like I taught them the best that I can. And with anybody that you hire, they have to be good with confrontation and then what's the word I'm looking for? Where you like critique them. Yeah, criticism.
Okay.
Those are my 2 things. Like have to be good with confrontation and criticism or else I just don't take them on and they won't help me. But I've noticed as I've given some of that away, like I can be better as a business owner in getting back to people more on time, and having better boundaries and having a better work and personal life balance, which I've always sucked at, even as a non-business owner.
I think everybody sucks at it.
Gosh,
Okay, I'm just going to lay it out there. Anybody who says
hard.
they have their shit together, let's just be real, is lying.
Yes.
And if you're doing great in one aspect, you're probably failing in another.
That is true.
And so let's let's just be real. Like,
yeah,
you're
I love it.
probably
No, we all are struggling so hard. And the number one thing that I keep in mind of like handing the reins over a little bit is I do not want to hit burnout. I've hit burnout so many times in my life, and I'll run it into the ground until I'm blue in the face. Like I can't breathe. I can't do anything. And I know life is not about that.
Yeah.
Like that is so, it's just not happy. And so I love to work hard. Like I thrive on it and I love it so much. But if you reach burnout, then what was the point, honestly? And so that's what I just have to keep in mind is like, okay, Maddie, like you've hit your like 15-hour mark for the day. I'm like, go read a book, chill, calm down. And tomorrow we're only going to work 10 hours instead of 15. You know, like you just have to try to be better every single day.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Burnout is real.
It's so real. It's so real.
It's a lot. How do you pull yourself out of the burnout?
Well, I can tell because I work with children, I have to have a lot of patience, like so much patience. And I can tell, when I'm reaching burnout, when I lose my patience. It's not okay. It's not okay for me to do that to any kid, to be short with them or, you know, like I just don't do it. I've only ever lost my patience on one child in the 15 years I've been doing this. And I will remember that until I die. And like, not like I did anything harmful. I just like, you know, I just had enough. And I was like, okay, it's not fair to like the parent or the child or me to do that. And so that's how I like reality check. And I'm like, okay. And then just like I said before, I'm like, okay, tomorrow you're going to work like your normal shift or whatever with the kids that you have. And then after work, instead of going on the computer and answering emails and being bugged and annoyed and possibly losing my patience for tomorrow, I'm just going to answer 10 emails and then I'm going to go on a walk, you know?
Yeah.
So that really helps me. Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. So how, like, what do you do to get out of the pool? Like, what, or like, not to get, sorry, that sounds so inappropriate. I'm so sorry.
Cut out.
Bleep. I meant like to take your mind out of work and in your pool, because your pool is also at your house.
Yes.
So like, what do you do? Because you can just go inside and like that, but what is your thing that you do to get you completely out of work, completely out of your headspace? And
I love that question. I've been really trying to find that like good space the past year, and for me it's I go on 2 walks a day. And I take my dog because he's a massive dog and he just needs energy out, and I don't want to lose my patience on him either, you know? And so we go on 2 walks a day. I go on one at lunch. Like it is like a must. It is scheduled in my day.
okay.
And then at the end of my day, I go on another walk. And sometimes my day is so overstimulated that I can't even listen to a book or a podcast while I'm on this walk. I just literally try to think of nothing and just walk.
Just a silence.
And I love it.
I do that in my car.
You do? You like take a second? Like
I love it. I'm like, I'm not turning anything on.
Yes.
I'm like, I just need to sit in my thoughts for a second.
Yes.
Because the world is so busy where you're like, some music's just chill.
Yeah.
Podcast is when I like need things to think about. And then when I really need to think and turn the world off, it's just like turn everything off and be silent.
Yes. Because I mean, we're not meant to live this way. We're not meant to like have 50 reels going on and music and your kids screaming in the background and then somebody honking at you, and then it's just so much for our brains that like just turning it off and like having Legend sit in the back and then you're just like in the driveway for like 20 minutes. Like,
okay, are you following me?
I know exactly what you do. No, it's because been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And you know what I don't say is really hard to do? When you're you naturally gravitate to all of that, to just be busy, constantly have sound, constantly do this. And then you find like you you only find those moments of silence when you have had enough.
Yes.
And like,
it's your burnout.
It's your burnout, right?
Yeah.
That's the only time you look for silence.
Yes.
But it's crazy that we don't try to consistently find silence throughout our days and like make it part of our routine.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I shouldn't turn on Grey's Anatomy
or at 9 o'clock at night.
Love is Blind when I'm trying to do the dishes or something. Like just maybe sometimes just not do it. And I'm literally being the biggest hypocrite right now because I do it all the time.
It's all of us.
But it is crazy how we're so wired now to have something on constantly.
Yes. And you're almost like bored. Like you're like, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm supposed to be like watching this while doing the dishes and then keeping an eye on my dog as well as my baby in the corner. Yeah. Like, and if honestly, like who's keeping tabs on your life so you can fully do that? But we both know at the end of the week, we're just going to shut down and we can't be there for the people that we love because we've reached our burnout. And so, yeah, just taking that 20, 15 minutes and not to like turn it anything like religious, but like, I don't know, like having a quiet prayer and be like, okay, I have these 15 things on my head right now. I can only tackle one of these. Like, just let me do that so I can feel a little bit better. And then I'm just going to do it like peacefully and not like wired, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that helps too.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
You're putting me in my thoughts.
In my thoughts. But then the thoughts never stop and then I can never go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a hard time with that? Going to bed.
You know, yes. I have a really bad habit right now where, and I need to switch my schedules and I'm working through it, people.
It's fine. It's a process.
I have a really bad habit right now where it takes me a while to get up and get going. And it's not until the second half or the evenings when I'm like, all right, it's time to get stuff done. Like, and then I sit there on my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my calendar on. Because every night before I go to bed, I put like my day goals of like, wake up at this time.
For the
get
next
ready
day.
At this time. Yes. Okay. You're going to do this meeting from this meeting, this time. You have these check items to do. Like I write it all out on like on my notes.
That's so cool.
And then it's cool, but it was not very.
It's the intention.
It's the intention. The notes are literally a mess. But it's not until I'm like, why can't I just get up in the morning and just like have that list ready to like check off? Like it's not until at night when I want to or feel motivated to do it. And so I'm kind of working through that right now.
Yeah. As dumb as it sounds, like, and I kind of hate this because I'm an all or nothing person. Like, I want to check off those 10 things and feel accomplished. But if only 3 of them happen, I'm like, oh, I'm such a failure, you know? But
yes.
But honestly, if you could do 3 tomorrow and then give yourself 2 days to keep doing 3, and then after 2 days, be like, okay, I can do 5 of the 10. And then do the 5 for like 2 to 3 days. Yeah. And then, you know, like as dumb as that is, and I hate it because I'm like, why can't I just do the 10? Like it makes no sense. But unfortunately, we just happens like that.
Yeah. And we I think right now I'm just getting so brainwashed by social media.
Yeah. All of us.
Right? It's definitely an illness.
It is no illness for everybody.
It's a cancer. It is a straight cancer.
I love that. Yeah.
It's so sickening on my mind, and it takes me away from my kid and my husband and my work and my everything else. I'm like, get off of it.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been posting as much. I think I'm to the point the last couple of weeks where I just need like a break.
Yeah.
Where the heck was I going with this?
Your goals? Every day, social media.
Yeah. I guess it wasn't important, so no one needs to hear it.
I want to hear it.
I was just saying, like, it's just my confession. This is my therapy session.
I love it. No, really, I love it.
Yeah, social media is just like a full cancer, and it just takes over a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So I just need to cut it out. But somebody was saying that if you try to change your habits, as long as you can keep it 2 days consistently in the row.
Oh, really?
So never take off 2 days more. So I've been kind of trying to do that where it's like, okay, if your goal is to work out every day, if you do miss a day, then you have to do it the next day. You can't miss like 2 days in a row.
Yes.
Or if your goal is to like read a book before bed every night. Okay, well, maybe you fell asleep the night before, but then that means you have to do it the next day or the habit won't stay.
I like that.
And so I'm trying to work on that in some aspects, but
it's okay. You'll get there. I think you're doing amazing. You're amazing.
This is about you, Maddie. You come over.
I always turn it back. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's flip it back to you. Okay, so you have a successful business. You're growing it.
Yes.
What are your next steps, or like where do you want to take it? Or do you want to stay just consistent for a while?
Well, like I love what I have going right now, but like, you know, there's no growth in the comfort zone. And I am going back and forth between having it at my home one day, like build a home, make sure there's enough land for parking. And I love Bluffdale City. I actually met with the mayor a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Love her.
She came to your house. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So yeah, I'll go back. The secretary, so the mayor is new as of, I think, 2024 or 2025. No, I think 2024.
Okay.
But her secretary, I reached out to her actually because me and electronics, like technology, I couldn't get this bill to be paid. And I was like, it's through the holidays. And I was like, they're not going to be in the office. So I called in and I was like, hey, I just need to pay this bill. And she's like, hey, how are you? And like, we're close because me and the secretary of the city, because unfortunately I had somebody in my past trying to get me shut down. And she was calling the city over and over and over. So it's okay. And so like me and the city, we've been on, like, we know each other's names and stuff. But she actually called me and she's like, how's that going? And I was like, it's good. Like, you know, things are on the uphill. I was like, we're not down in the trenches anymore. And she's like, oh, so good. And she's like, well, we've heard great things about you. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. And she's like, the mayor wants to come out and see you. And I was like, what? And I felt so bad. I was like, I know your name. I don't even know the mayor's name. And I was like, I don't know anything. And she's like,
I don't think a lot of people know their mayor's name.
That's true.
Even though we vote for them, I don't think anybody knows.
That's true.
But it is really cool when the mayor comes.
Yes, it is cool.
Never know their name.
Yeah, but she just wanted to meet me. She wanted to, you know, just get to know her community more. And she is the sweetest. Like, she's like, girl, we gotta get you to grow and have more people. So that's another thing, is like the city limits me on how many people I have a day.
Yes, you were saying that, which is really interesting. But I will say, Austin's in construction, and so I've heard some crazy things about Bluffdale City and that area.
Really? Okay.
Just, oh my gosh, if I hit this one more time.
We just talk with our hands.
I know. I've heard some weird rules about like the Bluffdale area, which they have a right, because they are right at the point of the highway. So it makes sense. It's really busy down there. And
there's a lot of new construction and stuff. I mean, same as everywhere, but like Sandy's super easy to please. I used to work in Sandy for a swim school, and like there was no regulation. Like we could have 100 cars coming and going. Like easy peasy.
So they limit you on
how many cars
can come to the facility.
Yes, because we're a residential business.
Got it.
Not a commercial. And so that's my thing, is like, okay, like all my clients come to Bluffdale anyways. Like I have people from Saratoga Springs, and then I have people from West Jordan, and they kind of meet in the middle, and it's super nice. And I was like, I would love to build and have property here. But I was like, or do I build a facility? And like, you know, I don't ever want to make it super big. I think that was a huge setback in the past, is like having 30 plus instructors. You don't know where the kids' progress is at. You're having hundreds of kids coming and going.
You lose your why a little bit.
You do. And not for everybody. Like people can still make it work. And there's a lot of businesses out there that make it work. But for me, I want to still have it personal. Like I want to see you and be like, how was Legend? Like, oh, is he in soccer? You know, like, and know where their progress is in my swim school. Like if they've been coming for 6 months and they're bouncing from one person to another and they can't find their groove, like that is the last thing I want. Like I want to have a good staff, like maybe 5 people, and just so like maybe a smaller facility. Like I don't know, me and my dad, we like brainstorm all the time. We're like, okay, like how much would this be? Like where do you see yourself in like 2 to 3 years, you know? And I was like, okay, like this is somewhat like reachable, but you get it. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And so I think you just have to like set certain goals and then try to reach them. And if they don't work out, they don't work out. Like something is supposed to happen somewhere else. Like I'm a big believer in like, you know, there's a reason for everything. And so I just don't know which one I'm going to pick. And for my future, like with my family, and if I have kids, like, do I want a business in my backyard? You know, like, do my kids want to go out and play? Or is it going to be so fun to have like 30 kids over, you know, and my kids are just running around with everybody, you know? So I'm like, what's the vibe that I want? And it's also your personal home. So like you can have like a built off like bathroom and shower for them, but people are still at your home.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So many pros and cons and so many things to weigh. And then also so many things to weigh, because I think once you start getting into the situation, then you start to be like, navigate it. And you're like, well, you know, maybe you find a husband and he's like, actually, I don't really like people over at our house.
Yeah.
Or maybe, you know, you start doing it and you're like, actually, I do want to like drive somewhere to go to work because I do want my family to have their own space. Yeah. So, and maybe that changes with the years.
Yeah.
You just like never know.
You really don't know. Yeah. So I'm open to anything. I just know I want to keep it growing, especially because I have a huge wait list right now. So like I feel so bad. I wish there was 10 of me, you know, like, and I wish I just had all the energy in the world to teach them all and make all these kids safe. So like, it's just, trying to get more kids safe. Cause I love those stories. And like back to the why, like I love the stories of like, hey, we were in vacation in California. They totally fell into the pool, totally saved themselves. Like, or like my kid is like swimming everywhere. He's 2 and the lifeguards are freaking out. Like, what is he doing? Like, how old is he? You know, and just being so shocked at how well these kids are swimming. Yeah. Like, I love those stories.
Do you have a favorite story out of all your years?
Oh, that's a good one. Honestly, there's so many. I don't have a specific one. Like the people that I've met, like I don't know, they're so close to my heart. Like I've gone on vacations with some of them, like, which is crazy. Yeah. Like I had this one mom, she actually came in and she was so nervous about her daughter because her daughter was a preemie. And so if the water is cold, like she was so nervous that like that just stays with you. Like a preemie and then growing up into kid, teenager, like you're always gonna have that like trauma in you. Yeah. And she was so worried about the water, and she's like, if it's too cold or like if it's too shocking or too jolting or whatever and you're not calm. And and then after a couple lessons she was like, hey, like we're going to Hawaii. And I was like, I love Hawaii, used to live there. I was like, can I come? Like as a joke. Total joke. And we went, and she's one of my best friends. I love it. And I take her daughter on dates all the time now. Oh. Yeah, she's my best friend. She's so cute.
That's so fun. Yeah. But I think that's the thing. It's like you never know when you're going to meet people who are supposed to be your friends or be in your life. Yeah. And if you're not putting yourself in situations, like if your work is at home.
Yes.
And you're going to work at home, and then you're at home. Yes. So then it's like, well, where are you meeting people? Where are you meeting people to talk to and have friends?
Or date. I love that question. That's what Reagan was leading into.
Anybody has a lead.
Yeah, because people are like, how do you meet people? And I was like,
dude, it's
question. Tough. Yeah.
And I was doing that same thing. So when the year that I met Austin, I was doing that same thing. I was
I didn't know that.
Going to work. And, well, okay. My work was not my home. I was living with my parents, and then I was going to work at the Grange. And I worked at the Range. I mean, I was
that your family's own. Yeah.
That my family owns.
I mean, at home, but at home.
Yeah. Yes. So home and home. And it was, but it was at such a good point in my life where I was kind of the point where I was like, I don't need to date. Like, I'm so done with dating. I learned so much about myself. I like focused on my career.
How old are you at this point?
Oh my gosh, you're dating me. How old was I in
21?
2017, 2018? So
18, 19, 20, 21?
22, 21, 22?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there?
Yeah.
No, I had him in 22.
Okay.
Which one just turned off? This one just turned off.
Okay.
Hold on one
You're
second.
good.
Oh.
My wet hair.
Oh,
Still from swim.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
Okay, I like curled my hair right before you came.
It's
I was
so
like,
cute. I love it. I love it. You're
like-
always your makeup. You're always put together. You are. No, you literally are. Like,
okay, I
you are.
appreciate that. I will say I had a goal when I was younger, that I think now is just a permanent habit that I just do. I get ready every single day. Like, there's not a day that I won't do my makeup or do my hair. Because you never know how your day is going to go, and you never know when you need to be presentable or in a situation where you are thrown in and you just need to be ready. So like,
I've never even thought about that.
I just have it as a habit because especially like in events or in working, like you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I just like to be ready to go.
I love it. No,
So-
you feel better about yourself. You feel, you feel more productive that way.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. If I get ready every single day, I mean, that's what helps me through postpartum a lot. Like I
Really?
still got ready. Still, like, even when I went into like labor, I made sure that I like got ready, which I know is so like kind of gives you the ick a little bit when you talk
No.
about it. But I think there's a mindset that happens when you do, like, in most days my hairs are like in a hat, in a bun, whatever.
You still
But
make it look
as long
cute.
as I do my makeup, I'm ready for whatever. And there's a way that like you get into a mindset when you do your makeup or you like get ready that it's like you're ready to take it on.
Yeah.
And even when I told Austin, I was like, don't let me go into labor without my
Oh my
makeup
God.
or my
He's
hair.
over there trying
And
to do it for.
I literally was in contractions, like fixing my makeup. Not the fact that I was like needing to be ready or pretty. Like,
No.
I don't need that. Like, it's fine.
No.
It was the fact that like I wanted to be. It makes you feel like you're getting prepared. For something.
Yes.
And so
No, because I don't take you as like you needed to look cute for the pictures or whatever. Like I was
way too fat for that anyway.
just
I
the pictures and everybody's laying back and then like they're double chin. I'm like, I love that you did makeup. It's like it's a confidence booster for you, but you have so much confidence without that you weren't doing it for the photos or whatever. Because it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
But like it mattered for you to just feel ready. I don't know.
To me,
I get you.
it's more of a mindset. Like if you can put yourself in a mindset of like you're getting yourself ready, not just to look good, but to like your mindset as well. Anyway,
I love it.
I don't know how to put that into smart
No.
words, but
You're smart.
AI, please switch this word. Just kidding.
You know what? Same.
ChatGPT, please make Reagan sound like she knows what she's talking about.
Every day of my life. Every day of my life.
So let's go back to when I was working at the range.
Okay.
So it was a little hard because I was like, I was working a lot and then I would go home. So then I would have to force myself to like, how the heck do you meet people in this day and age? Which is so hard. I tried a dating app for like 1 week. Worst thing that I could have ever done.
I'm sorry.
I feel like it's just not for me.
Yes.
It's not for me. And everybody's like, oh, you worked at a gun range. You could have picked up like a cute cowboy. I'm like,
You're
no,
like, guys,
it's not like that. And it's actually a little bit more realistic. It's not like a Hallmark movie when I'm working at a gun range covered
He comes over and helps me shoot the straight arrow or whatever.
When in reality, I can outshoot every single.
You can.
Sorry, not to have a big ego about that.
No. She can.
It was.
You listen.
Listen here. No, but it was hard. And most of the events so I was working on the event side and the events we were doing over 300 corporate and charity events. So a lot of it was like instructing people on how to shoot. And it's like the corporate events are, think of a bunch of guys in suits from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
We're talking Jersey. We're talking California. We're talking other countries that are coming in, and you're trying to instruct these people on how to shoot. And then charity shoots, which are a little bit more fun, but typically when you do the charity shoots, they like know how to shoot. So
you're just there to make it run
hospitality,
good. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, moral of the story.
Yes.
You're not really like dating when you're at work, because you and me are also in the same mindset. Like when you're at work, you are at work.
Yes.
Like you do not have the mindset to be like, I'm picking up the guy. You have the mindset to be like, I'm here to get shit done.
Yes.
And I'm here to do the. You're gonna keep turning off your camera? No, no one needs you anyway. Seriously, what the heck?
I know.
Lord.
I could talk to you for hours.
I literally, and I have to tell myself, like, your friend's coming over. Like, don't podcast all of it away. I don't know, but I feel like same mindset. When you're at work, you're at work.
Yes.
And like you don't have anything else on your mind than to get the job done.
Yes.
Which some people might have ulterior motives or whatever.
Yes, because it's just a job to them, and they're there for their 9 to 5, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's not you or me.
No. So anyway, but it really, like, he came into my life right at a time when I was literally like done having fun. I found some girlfriends, and we were having like the summer of our lives. Like, I seriously loved being single because you learn so much about yourself.
Yeah.
And I had some girlfriends, and we had so much fun. We would go to Billy Bob's every weekend. We would go play sand volleyball. Like, it was just so fun.
Yeah.
And if, like, anyway, so we had a mutual friend call me, and they're like, hey, like, what are you doing? I have this guy for you. And I was like, no, I'm done. Like,
I'm not entertaining this.
No, I was like, I'm so done dating stupid boys who just want to take you in the back of a truck and make out, or like go to a drive-in and make out. I'm like, let's do something else.
Yeah.
Or most of them I'm outshot anyway, so it didn't even matter. I love it. Anyway, and I was like, no, I'm good. And he's like, well, actually, he's on the phone. Here you go. And I was like,
no way.
What? And I was like, okay, fine. So I was like, hello, and he's like, hi,
my name's Austin. I heard you're great.
And he's like, so you hunt? And I'm like, why does every guy do this? I'm like, yeah, I hunt. Like, I do it.
I can hunt you down.
I don't know. And then we just started talking, and then we didn't stop. So
it's cute. It honestly, it was meant to be like the life you've created for yourself, I think. And I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know, like, we haven't seen each other in a while. Like, we're starting to see each other more now, but like,
because I have to pay you. I'm kidding. No, it's because we're only so busy.
Yeah, we're both so busy, but like, I just think it's beautiful. Like, everything you're doing, like, you both now have hobbies, and you've built this life. You have this house. You have this awesome kid. Like, I think it's just awesome. Thanks. So it was all meant to be, for sure.
Dude, well, I freaking love you. I miss you. I honestly, it's because we don't go to CrossFit anymore, and that was our time to catch up and talk.
That's okay.
But CrossFit destroyed my body.
Oh,
and
yeah.
After doing pregnancy and a baby, I just might stick to Pilates for a while.
And I think it's working for you. Like, you're happy. You're healthy. You're losing the weight that you want to. And yeah, I think if it's perfect fit, it's perfect fit.
Are you doing CrossFit still?
Yeah. So I switch CrossFit gyms.
Okay.
And the new one I go to, I freaking love it. Like, it's super small, like Draper was for us. Just like, nobody cares. They don't care what you look like, what you're wearing. Yeah. Like, it's not competitive. I just like compete against myself, and that's what I really, really need. Yeah. When I have these other people that are like, I don't know, posting their scores, and they're like, I was the best of the day, you know, and I'm like, cool. You know, like I just, if you need that, you need that. I was like,
Mhm.
but I just can't be in that area. Like, this is my release. And
Mhm.
if you're making it this place of like anxiety and stuff, it's not my release anymore,
Yeah.
So my new one is super cool. It's in Riverton. So
Fun.
yeah, it's fun.
I'll just come with you for a day. Because I
Yeah.
don't mind doing it like a onesie twosies. But just
Yeah.
every day was exhausting. I think here's what I did. I got burnt out. That's what
Yes.
happened.
We're all or
Because
nothing.
yes. We're all or nothing. I got burnt out. I
Yeah.
overworked it.
Yeah.
But I was also doing all of the events with work.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about
it
that.
was a lot.
That is a lot.
Because we were getting up, like for some of the events that we were doing, you would get up in the morning at like 3 in the morning to start brewing the coffee,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
get it to the facility by 6, and then work the event until sometimes 5, sometimes 7, depending
Yeah.
on when the event ended. And then you would have to go back and clean up. And it was like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Events are a lot.
Yeah.
You're on your feet all day. You're talking to people.
I saw you at one of your first events with Black Rifle, and it was, I don't know if you remember this, but I swear it was FitCon. It was like one of your first.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
I
gosh.
literally, like, I was so proud of you and I was so excited. And like, I came up to you and I did not want to be a bother at all. But I was like, I was just going to ask her, like, how's it going? Like, because I know you were so excited. And literally, you were like 50 different things on your brain. Like, I could just tell you weren't there.
Wait.
Because like you were like handing somebody this like badge, and you were doing this and you were doing this, just like you doing you and handling everything. And I was like, wow, she's getting it done. Like, she's in her zone. Like, it was so cool to see you like that. But I could tell like it was a lot.
I appreciate
It was
it.
a lot.
I love events. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I like them.
Well, you're gonna play on my wedding one day, so I hope you know that.
Sold.
Okay. It's destination, by the way.
Even better.
I'll pay for you to go there. Like, it'll be great.
We're done. I will do it all. Anything for you, Mads.
Okay.
You are so sweet. Isn't it just what I really like to see is when you meet people or your friends over the couple years and you see them find something that they love to do and then watch them do it, and you're like, you own it. And you like, especially like you and your swimming, like you are so, you just love it and you're happy about it and you're good at it. And it's like so refreshing to see your friends and your family like thrive and be so good at what they do.
Yeah, that is true.
And I look up to you because you're a huge example in what it means to be a business owner, what it means to be a friend, trying to balance it all, what it means to be a woman, to like take on this dream. And, because you have such a strong why, I'm like so proud of you.
Thank you.
And
thank you. I'm gonna get emotional. Crying on the podcast.
I've done it before.
Ready to rain.
Way to throw it
in there. No, thank you. I really appreciate that because it's been so hard and nobody knows like what goes on in the back.
They do not.
And like, I don't know, I'll never be in your shoes ever. You'll never be in my shoes. And so like, I really appreciate that. Like,
girl, I can only imagine. Like, I'm sitting here thinking like as like for you, like what does it take to bring in a pool, to keep the chemicals on point, to keep the chlorine at a certain level? Oh, how do you control the temperature?
Yeah.
Then you have to think about liability. Then you have to think about, okay, well, if I'm in the pool all day, who sweeps up and keeps the floor not getting wet?
Yes.
Then they're parking in your driveway. What if they run over your mailbox?
Right.
Like, there's so many things I'm like thinking of. I'm like, girl, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that we've talked about outside of this, where like the things that you had to go through and what you had to push through, what you had to fight for.
Yes.
Because you believed in it so much and believed in yourself so much to fight for it.
Yeah.
Because most people would sit there and what you went through would sit there and be like, okay, then it's not worth it. Like, I'll go find something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like most people would do that.
That is true.
And you believed in yourself that much that you were willing to wait a year. You were willing to get it up and running and still teach these kids and still make a difference. Like, you're a freaking baddie.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. So thank you.
Anytime, Mads.
Yeah.
I'm always here for you.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Honestly, like you need to have more of you because people love you and they want to support your business and it's growing and it's crazy. So thank you for sharing your story.
Of course.
Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you.
We can always have you on again.
Yeah. Part 2.
Part 2. Follow up when she owns the empire of swim.
The best in USA. No, just kidding.
Oh, we'll get there. I'll help you get there.
Honestly, yeah. That'd be amazing. But no, thank you. I really needed this, so I love it.
It's so fun.
It is
I
fun.
had so much fun.
Me too.
Okay, well, thank you. And
of course.
Let's go talk some more.
Okay.
Peace.
For the stuff you don't get to listen to.
Oh, wait. And if you didn't see, follow Madi Hurd on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
On Twitter, all the things. I don't know. Well,
No.
I don't even have a Twitter, but
No.
or X or whatever it's.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Instagram's my best. It's probably your best.
Yeah.
And then Swim
Palekana.
Palekana.
Palekana. I know it's ridiculous, but
it will also be tagged in your Instagram.
Okay, awesome. Yes. Actually, my business is on my personal, so if you just
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
they'll find it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.